Hi everyone, so excited to have you here. I'm finally going to speak about Desi Ghee. If you follow me even for 10 days, you would know I'm such a big proponent of Desi Ghee. And today I'm just going to tell you so as to why I feel and love and breathe and eat Desi Ghee and how I need you to do the same thing if it is possible for you. And by the end of this video, hopefully you might start eating and loving Desi Ghee. Okay? So sabse pehle, number one would be, we have approximately 72,000 energy channels, which is also known as meridians in Chinese medicine, and we have approximately 90 to 100 billion nerve cells. And ghee, a tablespoon of Shuddh Desi organic ghee, has the capacity to stimulate all of these things together, which means ghee is not just for the physical body, it's also for mind, it's also for soul. And I think by now we know that it's always the synergy and balance and homeostasis of mind, body, soul in alignment with nature that gives you great optimal beautiful life and a beautiful body and beautiful health. That is where your ghee walks in. Ghee is a Satvyk food according to Ayurveda, which basically means it's going to create a harmonization in between your mind, body and soul. Now, just speaking about Desi ghee, the number one question people would say, oh, but ghee is fat. Yes, ghee is fat, but there is good fat and there is bad fat. There is good carbs and there is bad carbs. There is good protein, there is bad protein. There are good dietitians and then there are bad dietitians. So there is, good and bad to everything. So when we speak about fat, in particularly Desi ghee is rich in saturated fat, okay? The kind of fat that we want to wean away from would be your trans fat and your polyunsaturated fatty acids, but your mu-fast, that's your monounsaturated fatty acids, your short chain fatty acids, and your saturated fat is something that we need to hold on to very, very tight if you love good skin, if you want great hair, if you want great body, if you want to lose fat, if you want to maintain health, and if you just want that glow on your skin, you need to start eating Desi ghee, okay? So when I say ghee is rich in saturated fat, so every cell, okay, we have approximately 100 trillions of cells, and each of those cells are covered in a layer of fat, which alone should speak volumes about how and why is fat so important. Not just cells, you also have to always remember there is two types, okay? There is short chain fatty acids and we have long chain fatty acids. When I speak about short chain fatty acids, that is something that ghee is rich in, and the beauty of ghee is it will not take away the energy from the body, because when it comes to the digestion and metabolization of short chain fatty acids, our body can do it very, very easily as compared to your long chain fatty acids, that's your LCFAS, and that's a little harder to digest by the body. So you would find that in, say, butter. Okay, so that's again one more aspect so as to how ghee is nourishing for the body and how it is not taking away the energy from the body. Now, just speaking about MUFA, so ghee is also rich in monounsaturated fatty acids, which has always been proven. So it would approximately have 25 to 35% of MUFAs. It's great for diabetes. It's great to balance your blood sugar levels because it is fat, and fat buffers insulin, unlike protein and carbs, which would give you an insulin spike, which is not bad, but just to compare it, okay? And it's great for cholesterol levels. So apparently there is, like, just for the sake of saying, there is good cholesterol and there is bad cholesterol. So your HDL being good and your LDL being bad, ghee is actually going to increase the HDL, which actually protects the heart, protects your arteries, and it's going to decrease the LDL, and it kind of increases the LDL uptake from the blood inside the liver. So again, one more aspect. So anyone who has cholesterol issues and they would go on an oil-free and fat-free diet, I'm sorry, that's the biggest mistake you are doing. If anything at all, you need to come back home and you need to start eating Desi ghee, okay? And not just that, so a lot of people go on oil-free diet, fat-free diet, low-fat yogurt, Greek yogurt, low-fat cheese, low-fat milk. You need fat. Fat burns fat. Fat won't make you fat, okay? Write this down somewhere. There's so much of science behind this, but just always remember, fat burns fat. Eat fat to lose fat. Eat fat to get healthy. And a lot of people who go on an oil-free diet, you look at their skin, they don't just lose weight, okay? Anyone in this world can lose weight. They lose their health, they lose their skin, they lose their hair, the shine, the luster, the glow, the energy, the charisma, it all goes away. But when you do it correctly and when you lose the weight correctly, you gain these things, okay? You gain good skin. So a good skin and good body and good hair, it's not about what you apply, it's about what you ingest. And that is what makes you who you are in respect to how you look physically. And because we all know all of us are crazy behind the way we look and all of us want great skin, and rightly so, you need to look into the basics of this. Okay, so that's where your ghee walks in. Speaking about ghee, we also know so that there are people who are obsessed with cooking with olive oil. Okay, because olive oil is great, it's great for your heart and everything. Olive oil is great, olive oil is brilliant, but olive oil is not meant for Indian cooking. So if every time you make your pav bhaji, which apparently is health food because bhaji has a lot of vegetables, sorry to break that to you, that's absolutely not correct. And every time, so when you look at a bowl and when you can't identify under kaun si sabzi hai, that just means that all of the nutrition is gone and it's overcooked. And overcooked food or cooked food is dead food. It does not has any live enzymes that you need to stimulate digestion. Okay, and as we all say, it's not about what you eat, it's about what you digest, absorb, assimilate. So that's also one thing where a lot of us tend to go wrong. So a little something that you should always take care about. When it comes to ghee, so olive oil would need bile juice. So what is bile? So bile is basically produced by the liver, stored in the gallbladder, and it will help you in the breakdown of fats. So not just your fats, but also your fat soluble vitamins. So vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, vitamin K. You need it for your heart, you need it for your skin, you need it for your brain, you need it for your joints, you need it for every function inside the body. So if you are deficient in it, and if your body is not absorbing it, your oil-free diet and your fat-free diet and you're losing weight is not really doing any good to your system, and you need to start to put in fat. But this is the beauty of desi ghee. So even someone who has most amount of poor health, who is down and diseased and in bed, they can still digest khichdi. You can give them a tablespoon of ghee and they can still digest it well, because ghee will not need bile juice for it to be able to metabolize in the system, just like coconut oil. So again, my top two favorite would be extra virgin cold pressed coconut oil and organic A2 ghee. I'm also going to put down a few brand names that I really prefer and I personally use, and I highly recommend that you do that. And if that is not possible, you can always make your ghee at home. I think our mothers and grandmothers just know the best as to how to make it. And if the quality of the milk is great, if it is organic, if it is A2, and if the cows are not being harmed and everything, I suggest go ahead and have your ghar ka shuddh desi ghee. It's going to be amazing. Eat it, bathe in it, moisturize yourself, dunk your body in it, and it's going to be amazing. Okay, but yes, ghee is a fat, and if you don't move, it is going to make you fat. So you have to be very mindful. But I would say, even if you're in bed all day, at least a tablespoon is something that I highly recommend, and everyone should have it. Okay, now that means that ghee does not takes away the energy. Ghee gives the body energy, right? Because it is not putting a load on your system, so like your refined carbs and refined sugar would. So they would ask your body to work extra so as to digest and metabolize the poor junk food that we eat. But when you add ghee to anything, so if you look in the traditional India, we have like desi ghee ka tadka, and we put ghee on roti, we put ghee on khichdi, we put ghee in pulao, and anything that we make at home, we make khandwas, patras, and all of these things. So I don't know if people use oil, but at least in my case, if I would make it, I would always put ghee ka tadka. And the whole point of doing this is it will help you in the absorption of the nutrition provided in the body, provided in the food, present inside the food, and it helps in the absorption, because it's not about what you eat. You can eat the best foods in the world, but your body is not absorbing it, it's not going to show. So a lot of people have 3 green juices in a day and they only have khichdi, but they don't look like they are on a detox plan, or they don't look lean, they don't look great, they don't look fit, they don't look healthy, like let alone lean or anything else. They don't look strong and healthy. People have joint aches. I have 16-17-year-old girls who say, oh, my back hurts, my joint hurts, my shoulder hurts, my neck hurts. Do you think it's normal? I think we have had women in the past who used to be 70, 80. They could sit down in the squat position, they could do ghar ka basic brooming and sweeping and mopping, and they wouldn't need anything, unlike us where we need a stick to just wipe out and just to clean home and everything, which just speaks volumes about us as to how weaker we have become as a generation. And it is about time that we start including these things back into our diet before everyone out there is selling ghee for such huge prices, when we can literally make it in the backyard and we can give it to someone else and we can take it. In olden days there was this kahavat, agar aapko udhar lekar bhi ghee khana pade, so you should eat ghee. That is how healthy it is. Like ideally किसी किसी से उधार लेना is not such a good thing, but when it comes to ghee, you should take the udhar and then eat your ghee, and I think that speaks volumes about how great it is. And so your bile juice, your body, your health, and also everyone who has gut issues, which most of us, including me, we do. Even I at one point had a very, very severe damaged gut health, and I'm still like 60-70% healed. And I have no shame in admitting that I can eat up to minimum 5 to 7 tablespoons of ghee in a day, and I might look fat to some of you, but I don't care, because you don't see how it makes me feel from the inside, and that's what matters. Okay, so my energy levels, my sleeping, my skin, my hair, and just the way I feel inside my body. You just can't just look at someone and say, oh, he's eating ghee or she's eating ghee, so they're going to be fat and stuff. Just stay away from people like that. Okay, anyone who asks you to not eat ghee, you just need to know that you need to run very fast and very, very far away from them, so that you can't hear to such noises. Okay, and so speaking about your gut, we have something known as butyric acid. Now, butyric acid is naturally produced by the body, but at the same time, ghee has it too, and it is actually going to feed the cells of the colon, which actually breaks down the food that we eat. And again, you are not what you eat, you're what you digest, absorb, assimilate, and break down. And your colon cells are going to do it, not you. It's your gut bacteria that helps you in doing that. And if you don't feed it with your prebiotics and probiotics, that is where your prebiotic and probiotic walks in. Ghee does that for you, and it is amazing. So there is, Ayurveda has no painkillers. So every time they use something that is medicated, it involves ghee. So your ghee and turmeric and black pepper, a concoction of these three things together with a cup of warm water, it's great for people who have hormonal imbalances, because ghee is 100% fat. Hormones are made up of fat, cholesterol, lipids, protein, and you need fat. So every one of us who have hormonal issues, PCOD issues, infertility issues, poor skin issue, hair issue, weight issue, stubborn fat, not a good skin, no good hair, and all of these stuff, you need ghee, my friend. And believe me, this is the best advice you can pick up from me. Start eating ghee. If you don't like it, if it makes you feel nauseous or dizzy, just mask it in some way and have it. But believe me, if you just know what it is doing to the body and each and every billions of cells inside the body, you would start enjoying it, and it will start loving you back, and you can see a difference in as little as 7 days. So even if you have cholesterol issues, even if you have blood sugar issues, if you have hormonal issues, if you have anything, if you have anything to do with your nerve connections or your myelin, or if you have autoimmunity too, I would suggest very safely you can have ghee. But of course, if you have a health practitioner of your own or GP of your own, please sit with them and see if you can have it or not. But ideally, in most cases, 90 to 95% of the people can very safely have it. Now, people who are vegans and stuff, it's up to you. It's a choice that you make, but it's free of 2 protein, that's your casein and whey. So ideally it is very, very safe. People who can't tolerate milk like me can still do great on ghee. So I don't really have like dairy products. It would break me out and all of that stuff, but I can eat it. It wouldn't like kill me, but I would know that something is off and I wouldn't feel perfect. But ghee is something that, maybe it's because of the fact that I love it so much that it doesn't harm me in any way, but I think very, very safely people can have ghee. And for whatever reason, if it doesn't work for you, just leave it. Okay, if it doesn't serve you, leave it. If it serves you, have it. But believe me, it's the most beautiful thing for your system, and I highly recommend that everyone eats it. And I'll put down some brands below. And if you have any doubts so as to, again, एक और चीज़ का बहुत ज़रूरी ध्यान रखना ये है कि ghee can be very, very contaminated given the kind of world that we live in and everything. यार, it's like there is corruption, there is contamination, and we have to just be smart and protect our own cells. So make sure that the quality of ghee is great, and you should never store your ghee in copper vessels and like brass vessels and all of these things. According to Ayurveda, you shouldn't store ghee in like any dairy product as such in vessels like that. And of course, you use it always. The safest way to store would be a glass container and glass jars. If you're not like me, who's constantly breaking things away, then you can very safely use it, a stainless steel bottle, or you can store it in a glass jar. So that's about my ghee, and I love it. If you have, like, a lot of people have dry lip issues, you can also use ghee there. If you have dry skin, you can use ghee as a moisturizer, and it works beautifully. I apply, so I don't use moisturizers, okay? I'm not saying I use ghee every day, but especially in winters, I would, like, use like 2 to 3 drops of ghee, and it just gives my skin moisture for like 3 to 4 to 5 days. Also, there is one tip that I wanted to share you, so as to how I don't use moisturizers would be, I would just take some ghee, और पता है दूध की जो मलाई निकलती है जब घर पे दूध उबालते हैं, so you just take that malai and you put it on your face and you let it sit for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and then you just wash it away, and your skin will be moisturized for 2 to 3 days. At least in my case, that's the thing. So I have very hypersensitive skin to a little bit of oily skin, but most of the days if I'm taking care, that would not be a problem. So I personally don't use any scrub. I will use face mask, ek do brands hai that I really like, but like not often. I would usually stick to homemade mask, and I speak a lot about it on my IG, so you should check it out there. It's also in the highlights known as Skin Health. And but I just use one face wash, that's Cetaphil. Like that's one thing that I use once or twice in a day. Otherwise I just stick to basics, and I really think that ghee has helped me a lot. And if you look at older women, you would just look at them and see, like, let's just look at the luster of their skin. It speaks, it radiates. There's so much of charisma and charm on people's body and skin. You look at teachers who are, practicing Ayurveda and yoga for years and years, and you look at them, and it's the ghee that is speaking and coming and radiating out of them. So I really love ghee, and I'm not by any way imposing this on you. I'm just trying to tell you so as to why I love it. And if you start loving it too, you know where to come and message me. I hope this video helps you, and I hope you have a brilliant, beautiful rest of your day.